It's that super flow, no, she my flow. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's that super flow.
34 movies to look forward to in 2018 inches. Another year is upon us, as is another calendar of Hollywood projects, for better or for worse. From Black Panther to A Wrinkle in Time to the return of Mary Poppins, even 2018's biggest film franchises feature exciting actors and creators, though there are also plenty of smaller projects hoping to be remembered by the end of the year. Here's a look at some of 2018's most notable movies. What It Is, Clint Eastwood's latest tale of true-life heroism after his back-to-back hits American Sniper and Sully. But this time, rather than casting a movie star like Tom Hanks or Bradley Cooper, Eastwood is filming the real-life heroes Spencer Stone, Anthony Sadler, and Alex Garlatos, three Americans who helped stop a gunman on the French train in 2015. The trio will play themselves, with Judy Greer, Jenna Fisher, and Jaleo White making up this very unusual project's ensemble. If you need convincing, this surprising variety approaches the logical conclusion of Eastwood's fascination with recreating real acts of bravery, though some may certainly cry too soon in dramatizing an attack that has yet to even go to trial in France. Still, the 87-year-old Eastwood has unparalleled skill at ratcheting up tension, and the 1517 to Paris trailer promises more of the same. Marvel Studios' Black Panther, February. What It Is, the 18th entry in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and the first starring a black superhero, T'Challa, Chadwick Boseman, the king of the fictional African nation of Wakanda, who does battle in the high-tech Black Panther battle armor. Michael B. Jordan is playing the chief villain Killmonger, while the deep ensemble includes Lupita Nyong'o, Danai Gurira, Daniel Kaluuya, Angela Bassett, Forrest Whitaker, and Andy Serkis. If you need convincing, the director Ryan Coogler, Greed, Fruitvale Station, has crafted a dazzling look for the film inspired by blending together the architecture and dress of various African countries, as well as tapping the recent Black Panther comics written by The Atlantic's own Ta-Nehisi Coates. As such, this looks a world beyond the sometimes samey pattern of the Marvel movies. Black Panther seems highly likely to be a box office sensation, so get on board now. Paramount Pictures' Annihilation, February. What It Is, an adaptation of Jeff Vandermeer's best-selling science fiction novel, which follows a biologist, Natalie Portman, journeying into an unknown ecosystem called Area X from which other expeditions have failed to return. Her team consists of Jennifer Jason Leigh, Gina Rodriguez, and Tessa Thompson, with Oscar Isaac also starring as the biologist's husband, who went missing inside Area X. If you need convincing, the film is written and directed by Alex Garland, whose 2015 directorial debut, Ex Machina, was a stunning piece of sci-fi storytelling. Annihilation is wonderful source material to work with, and the movie is apparently so mind-bendingly weird that Paramount pushed it to February to try and give it some room away from the clutter of awards season. 20th Century Fox Red Sparrow, March 2, What It Is, a spy thriller starring Jennifer Lawrence as Dominica, a Russian intelligence officer who falls for a CIA agent, played by Joe Edgerton, and considers becoming a double agent. Matthias Schoenaerts, Charlotte Rampling, Mary Louise Parker, and Jeremy Irons round out the ensemble. If you need convincing, it's based on a hit novel by the former CIA operative Jason Matthews, and directed by Francis Lawrence, who collaborated with Jennifer Lawrence, no relation, on the last 3 Hunger Games movies. Disney A Wrinkle in Time, March 9. What It Is, a big-budgeted adaptation of Madeleine L'Engle's famed sci-fi children's novel, directed by Ava DuVernay, Selma. It follows young Meg Murray, Storm Reed, on a quest to save her father, Chris Pine, by zapping through space and time with the help of Mrs. Which, Oprah Winfrey, Mrs. Who, Minty Kaling, and Mrs. What's It, Reese Witherspoon. If you need convincing, watch the trailer, which promises a unique visual feast. DuVernay is only the third female director handed a budget over $100 million in Hollywood history, and she's clearly making the most of it. Fox Searchlight Isle of Dogs, March 23. What It Is, Wes Anderson's second foray into animated film after Fantastic Mr. Fox. Isle of Dogs is an entirely original tale set in a dystopian future where Japan exiles all of its furry dog friends to a remote island after an outbreak of canine flu. One plucky boy, voiced by Coy Rankin, journeys to this mysterious island to rescue his dog, Spots, Liev Schreiber. If you need convincing, Anderson's last animated feature was a genuine delight, and this looks even more fanciful, though some eyebrows might be raised at the curious decision to have all the dogs be voiced by American actors, including Bryan Cranston, Bill Murray, Edward Norton, Jeff Goldblum, and F. Murray Abraham. What It Is, an action-packed dystopian blockbuster set largely in a virtual world, directed by Steven Spielberg and based on the best-selling novel by Ernest Cline. Wade Watts, Ty Sheridan, is a young dreamer living in an overpopulated future America who spends all his time in a vast online video game, and gets sucked into a quest to inherit the fortune of the game's inventor. If you need convincing, it's Spielberg's first sci-fi epic in a long time, and the director was apparently drawn to Cline's novel because of its obsession with 1980s pop culture, which, of course, Spielberg had a major hand in creating. Perhaps he'll have some fun with his own legacy. What It Is, a dark comedy from the creative team of the director Jason Reitman and the writer Diablo Cody, who together worked on the films Juno and Young Adult. Tully is a comedy drama about motherhood starring Charlize Theron and Mackenzie Davis, but little else is known of the plot. If you need convincing, watch Juno and Young Adult, the latter of which also starred Theron. Reitman and Cody have always been an excellent creative match for each other, and this could be the bounce-back Reitman needs after directing a pair of flops, Labor Day and Men, Women and Children. Avengers, Infinity War, May 4th, What It Is, all the beloved Marvel heroes, and a few villains, come together to do battle with Thanos, Josh Brolin, a gigantic purple alien who has a magical golden gauntlet and designs on taking over the universe. This is the epic crossover Marvel has been building to for 10 years. Will it deliver? If you need convincing, Marvel is betting that you don't. What it is: a standalone prequel in the Star Wars universe that follows the adventures of a young Han Solo, Alden Ehrenreich, as he meets Chewbacca, matches wits with young Lando Calrissian, Donald Glover, and probably embarks on a Kessel Run or two. Yes, they really made a Han Solo prequel, and no, it doesn't star Harrison Ford. If you need convincing, the behind-the-scenes drama on this film has been intense, with the original directing team Phil Lord and Christopher Miller fired midway through shooting and Ron Howard brought on to replace them. The end result might be a mess, but it should be fascinating anyway.